Welcome to Math 212, Brief Calculus Online, Summer 2016. Um, we're going to get you started. I want to get you into MathAS, which is the online learning system we're going to be using for this course. Once we kind of watch this video and go through all of these videos here, we'll be done in Canvas. We'll never come back here. So the first thing, just to get to MathAS, you can go ahead and click this link here, and it should open up a new page. Excuse me, though. We shouldn't be logged in already. It looks something like this for you. And what I want to do, I actually want to bring it up on this screen here. No reason other than I just want it to look a certain way to make it easier for you to see something I want to talk about. So, your login. You should be looking at a screen that looks like this. Your login is your first name underscore last name. So, for example, mine is David underscore Dwork. That is my login, my username. Now, your password right now, since we are all new to the system, is math, just MATH lowercase. Now, if you've been in the system before and that password's not working for you, you can try your old password. That may still be working, and if that doesn't work, just send me an email. I can reset your password in a millisecond, and I'll give you a new password to get you logged in. So once you do your username, which is your first name underscore last name, and even if you've been in the system before, that is your new login name for this class, and then math is your password. So now that we're logged in, the very first thing we want to do here is change our password because our old password of math is not very secure. So we need to make up a new password of whatever you want to make it. And go ahead and submit that. And now you have changed your password. That is key because right now everybody knows everybody's password. So now that that's done, the next thing we want to do is go in here and click on change your user info. That was right here, the top right hand corner, change user info. Now in here, you can change your name if I have a misspelling or something of that nature. Sometimes when I auto-populate the names, something goofy occurs with the if you have a hyphenated last name or you have an apostrophe in your last name. So you can go ahead and correct that so it appears correctly in the system. That's great. It won't change your login. Your login's your login. And again, here you can change your password again, but we just already did that. Now, key things I would highly recommend. Notify me by email when I receive a new message. Absolutely. This email address in here, and if there isn't one in here, make sure you put it in. It's required by Maricopa that you check your Maricopa email. So I highly recommend putting in your Maricopa email here just to protect everybody. And we can guarantee, therefore, when we send emails, they're actually delivered to you and whatnot. So nonetheless, it's just for everybody's safety and protection. Put your Maricopa email in there. And now this way in MathAS, whenever a message is sent with this checked, you will get notified to your email that I've responded to you in the system. Okay, let's see what else. On the home page, you can have a new messages widget. This is all kind of just personal preferences, what you want to see, what you don't want to see. And you can change themes and whatever. That's whatever. Key thing here, make sure you are set to the correct time zone because otherwise your dates will look funny. Due dates and things look funny. And so now you can see on here, I can now see new messages, forum posts. So if something is posted, it'll pop up in my main screen. It's just a little easier to see. Okay, so now we are all in. We're all user info's in. That's pretty good. Now you don't need to enroll in a class. I've already done that for you. You'll see our class is sitting right here, MAT 212 online, summer 2016. So go ahead and click that. And let me walk you through the layout of how I designed this course. Now over here on the left hand side, you'll see these are the same things that we would have seen on the main page, messages, forums. So you can click on messages and see here's where your messages would be. You could either use the breadcrumbs on the top or just the back arrow to move forward and back. The forums, same thing. So if you wanted to talk in the discussion, you wanted to post a question to a student about a problem or whatever, or have a discussion about something, that's where you can go. The calendar, when you click on the calendar. Now, the issue with the calendar, this will only show you things that are their due dates when they're available. So therefore, you'll notice 2.1, 2.2, 2.3 are currently available. You can see they are due on June 5th at 11:59 p.m. and we have a late pass that we can use on them. Now, you get 5 late passes for the entire course, okay? And what they do is they extend the assignment through 5 days beyond their original due date. So therefore, the original due date is the 5th, so we get you 5 additional days. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, puts it on a Friday. The negative to the calendar is you can't see that 2.5 is actually due on the 12th. It will only appear on the calendar once the assignment becomes available to you next week. Okay, so the calendar shows you what's currently due and what's past due, just doesn't show you the future. Gradebook, very similar. You can see here your grades in the class. Now I will show you something very great and horrible about the gradebook. There are actually 3 grades. You can see right now how I have things typed in. There's a total of 22 assignments in the system, but you have a 0% on them because they're not, you haven't started the class. So it's going to show you have an F in the class pretty much the entire time in this column. Always just watch the past due. This is your real grade. This is kind of saying the grade you have in the course. This is the grade you have in the course, and things that you no longer have the ability to work on. These things are all past due. Now, if you've working on current assignments and you've attempted them and you're done with them, then this column's okay. But these, anyway, it really, this is your grade just in the past due column. Sometimes that creates confusion. Okay, so now back to the main page. Here we go. Announcements. When I need to say something to you, I will post them here in this section in the announcements. I will also send out an email to you saying the exact same thing. So you'll see it in both places, but I wanted to make sure I put it there. Open discussion, I already kind of mentioned that. A little bit self-explanatory. Now, this next drop down, syllabus, written homework, solutions, etc. Now, and here's where you're going to find all your useful links for things kind of like big idea things, like such as our syllabus. There's our syllabus to the course. You are in a later video I'm going to talk about OneNote and how you're going to use OneNote in this course. Here's your link to your OneNote. Your book problems, the problems that aren't in the online system but coming out of the book, those are right here. Answers to chapter 1, answers to chapter 2, answers to chapter 3. Now, they use the word odd answers, but that is a little loose. If I go ahead and open these, you will see the answers. It's not all of the odds. We went to problem 1 to problem 5, problem 7, but it gets a little more interesting as we go along here. Let's see if we can find a good spot. Here we go. Problem 4, problem 12, problem 14, etc. Now, when you're doing the problems out of the book, I think I mentioned this in the homework section, but I'm going to say here just in case. When you're doing the problems out of the book, you can absolutely always ask if your answer is right. Take a picture of your work, send it to me through OneNote. All that comes in a later video. And I will look at your problem. So if it's not listed here, it doesn't mean I'm not going to check your work for you. These are just ones where you kind of get step-by-step walkthroughs on the problems. Okay, so there's your chapter 1, chapter 2, chapter 3 answers. That's all we do in this class. And then just extra little helpful things, such as I do regressions in one step, and I'll say if you need a video on it, here I'll post a video. Well, here's where I'll post those types of videos. I'll put them right here in helpful videos and resources. Notice there's a little plus sign. When you click the plus sign in MathAS, what that does is it opens the embedded version of the video, so you can watch it without going anywhere. You can just press play, and oh, there it goes. If you click the link itself, then the link will open it up in a separate window in YouTube. Okay, so I'm going to run just depending on some people, depending on your browser, depending on the wind, which way it's blowing on any which day. Sometimes some computers have issues, some don't. If you have Chrome or Firefox or Safari, just issues occur. So I try to give you as many options to to get around those issues. So just understand that's what the plus sign is for. And that's why every video has a link as well. Now, the next thing, you are going to need to have Microsoft Office 365 for this class. Now, it's free for Maricopa students, so all you're going to do is you can follow this link and you can follow the steps, or the other way I recommend is just simply go to your web browser and type in office365.com. So you can open up a new window, type that in. Now you are on the Office webpage. In the top right hand corner, you will see where it says sign in. We're going to go ahead and say sign in to work, school, or university. because we are one of those things. Now, if you're coming in for the first time, it's going to look like this. So what you're going to do is type in your MEID at Maricopa. If I could spell Maricopa, that'd be helpful. .edu. Okay, now, there we go. When you click to do your password, you're going to notice it's going to redirect you. You didn't mess anything up. It's just taking you to the Maricopa page where you're going to finish signing on using your MEID password. And that is enough. Just getting to this page once you're logged in, that has activated your account with us, and you will now have access to the OneNote and all that. So that's good. Now, if you don't have Office on your computer and you'd like to, you'll notice right here where you can install it. You get 5 installs through us for free, so you can install it on your personal laptop, tablet, whatever you've got. You get lots of them. So there you go. So that's all I need you to do for that. So now you have Office 365, and hopefully you have it installed on your computer. And we'll talk about what to do later with that. Next, so that's kind of the setup to the course. Now, where do you get the book? The book. You'll notice down here at the bottom, there's your textbook links. So chapter 1, chapter 2, chapter 3, and the book is free. It's through PDF, so you can download it, print it, do whatever you like. There you go. There's also, if you don't want it in the whole chapter, here we go. So you'll notice right now we're working on section 2.1, 2.2, 2.3. Those were available in the calendar. In here, once I click on the chapter 2, section 2.1, I get my objectives. These are the goals for this section. Then I get a textbook link. Now, if I click this textbook link, you'll see this is just for section 2.1. This is not the entire chapter 2 like the other link was. This one's just, it's a smaller section if it will ever load. It's going to take a minute. I'm going to pause the video because you don't need to watch this. If I could figure out how to pause the video. There we go. And hopefully, if it took a very long time to download, let me know. This is being housed outside of Maricopa. I can move it to an internal server, and it hopefully should load faster. I'm hoping it's just a fluke that I'm doing it at 11:28 on a Memorial Day and whatever. Anyway, so here you go, section 2.1. Here's your book, just the section. And you'll notice when we get down, I'm going to ask you, when you get to the homework section, I'm going to ask you to do every problem out of the book as well. We're going to highly, highly recommend it. You'll notice this is not like a normal textbook. The back of the chapter has 8 problems. Okay, so when I ask you to do these problems, I'm not asking you to do a ton. Okay, so anyway, so that's how you get to the book. That's how you navigate. Now the next thing you'll notice right here is notes. Now here you can go ahead and grab your notes for the section. This would be the exact same thing as what I do in class. These notes, I expect you to print them out. And the reason I want you to print them out is the next thing I'm going to have you do is watch the video. Now this video is me walking you through the notes, taking you through the lesson. So as I go through these notes, you should fill in your printed out notes. And then when we go through the syllabus, you'll see a portion of your grade is actually just uploading your filled out notes, just taking pictures of them, popping them in OneNote, and I'll show you how to do that when we get to the OneNote videos. So you're going to get points just by printing out your notes, watching this video, filling them out as you go along. Then last but not least, here's your homework section. So when you click on the homework, this is the graded homework. There's not ever very many problems. You're just going to go ahead and go through these, answer the questions. If you have a question about something, there's the message your instructor. And again, when we get to the OneNote video, I'll talk about how you go through this, what you're going to do here. But so nonetheless, this is the process. You'll notice MathAS is just like every other system. When you click to put in an answer, you could type it in if you wanted to. We don't know how to do this yet, so I'm just going to make up something, 3a plus 4. Now, you'll notice there is a preview button. This preview button is paramount. It tells you that your syntax is okay. What you typed in makes sense to the computer. This is how it's interpreting it. But if I submit my answer, it is not right. I just made that up, right? So, but the syntax is fine. Now, if you wanted to type in something more complicated, you have your yellow up arrow. when we go ahead and here and type that in, this is where you get all your fun little fractions and exponents. So you can go crazy here and say I want to write 3 raised to the a, and yes, you can use keyboard shortcuts to kind of get around some of the stuff, but nonetheless, I highly recommend when we start getting to more complex things to type in, you type them in using that up arrow, because then it will fill it in with the proper the proper syntax. We can hit preview and say this is how it's interpreting it. Anyway, there you go. So there we go. So this is kind of just your brief intro to MathAS, kind of pointing out some of the key important pieces. I'm sure I'll repeat myself in some of the videos, but I'm hopeful that this will give you enough confidence that you can come in here and start playing and start being productive. You will notice right now all we have is 2.1, 2.2, 2.3 available, because that's all that's available to you right now. That's all you should be working on. Things will appear as we go along, so please always be looking. They always appear down below the last section, so just keep watching as we go along. And then last but not least, navigating. When you're all done, make sure you click log out, especially if you're on a PC that is not private. If you're at a school, you're at a library, something, make sure you log out so people don't have access to your stuff. Okay, I hope that helps. Ask if you have any additional questions.